what's going on, everyone? This is Greg here, and this week I want to talk to you guys about a property that we have either completed as of this video posting or we're about to be done with. It's a very complicated situation where I've actually been working on the deal for over a year now. I first found this property in December, or either November or December of 2017, and it is this is getting published in 2019, so it's been a while. So let me give you the quick backstory. So this was a property in Texas that I identified as a pretty good investment opportunity. To give you the backstory, this property had like a $40,000 tax lien or something substantial that caught my eye. And then as I did a little bit more due diligence on the property, I saw that it was owned in like a quasi-family trust thing where it didn't really make a lot of sense. And then the mailing address was in Maryland and the property was in Texas. It was just a complete mess. So anyway, as I did some more research, I found out that this was a very distressed situation where basically the house was, it was owned, and basically it was an estate, but the estate was almost, it was very confusing where like pretty much people own property and they really just kind of forgot about it and it just kind of sat there. So the owner was deceased and then the heirs were all deceased. So this thing was just sitting vacant, accruing taxes and, you know, getting really physically distressed. So I knew that there was an opportunity to solve a problem here. So we ended up identifying some of the key heirs who were going to be a part of the estate. And basically the owner was very, very old. And they actually didn't even have any siblings that were alive. And they had no kids. So we had to start tracing down the family tree. We actually hired a genealogist to do a substantial amount of work for us. And we got the whole like snapshot of the family, basically. Like the whole like who's the legal heir, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, to keep a long story short, this is a property that we did where we had to complete 17 affidavits of heirship. So there were 17 different people who were receiving legal interest in this property. So we had to find 17 people. We had to get them to all agree to the price, and we had to pretty much walk them through the sales process one by one. And it just taught me a lot of lessons. The big lesson I learned from this one so far is that, you know, this is an opportunity that I bet you some other investors have probably tried to pursue, or maybe they started it, but for some reason they didn't want to put the work in to actually finish it and take it all the way to the finish line. So the first lesson is, man, the properties that are tough to deal with in terms of title issues or, you know, like hair on the title, like this one, you know, as long as the profit is there, the key is the profit's got to be there. If this was like a house in the hood where you're going to make 10 grand, I would have not touched this thing with a 20-foot pole, but it was a lot different for us on this one. It was completely worth our time. So the properties that are hard to go after, those are the ones you should go after because that's where you can really solve the problem and stand out from your competition. Probably the second big lesson on this one was really, I guess it was just taking more of a risk with my time, because I knew on this property that we had to really sell 17 people on why we should be buying this property. And, you know, they were in a position where it did benefit them for us to buy it. But, you know, I took the risk of basically putting in a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of effort. You know, the genealogist was expensive. And really, at the end of the day, if one of these heirs didn't want to sell the property, the whole property was going, you know, off the deep end. You know, this thing, everyone had to agree to this, you know, price and the terms and everything. So, you know, you got to be comfortable with taking some risks sometimes. And it's not always a financial risk. Sometimes it could be a time risk, which is more important than money a lot of the time. So, understanding, you know, certain risks are worth taking and some, you know, definitely aren't worth taking. That's the second lesson. And the third lesson on this one is, I'm just trying to think here. What was another real good lesson on this property? Oh, here we go. When you can build, and the thing is, this deal took over a year to close. This was not, you know, a quick deal by any means. We had to do a lot of paperwork, but by the time we were done with this property, we had so much trust built with the whole entire family. Like we just called them so much, and we really understood each other because we were working together with each other for over a year. I mean, at the end of the day, the price wasn't even an issue. I mean, they knew we were getting the property at a good price, and we were, because we were solving a problem, and because we're solving a problem, we should deserve to get paid. But, you know, the rapport and the trust was just so tight here. Really, the price didn't matter, because at the end of the day, if it was going to be about the price, they would have sold the property a long time ago. So When you have the right seller and you're working with the right people who can actually benefit from your product or service, the price isn't going to matter as much as you think. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was definitely an exciting property, and I'm looking forward to doing some other properties like this in the future. Hope you guys have a good day, and we will talk to you soon.